FedEx full, we commanding the block. Burgundy and gold, got the city on lock. Hustling plays, they don't need to pretend. DC reppin' strong and we fight to the end. Command is moving, no breaks, no pause. Hands in the dirt, respecting the call. K-Dot in the mid, dissect the grind. District divider with a city in mind. Trying to dance why, don't miss a bit. And you gotta spread the words, or shit is shit. K-Dot.
Welcome, everyone, to District Divided, a DC sports podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I'm Amit. That is K-Dot. This episode, we normally do a live stream. I was in an area where it's just very spotty service, and so I apologize. Instead, this is a just Monday after. Pretty classic one over here. The Commanders lose in Madrid, 16-13 to the Miami Dolphins. They fall to 3-8 on the season, heading into their bye week. Who knows from here what they plan on doing, right? Jaden Daniels could maybe come back. Is it record-based? Maybe he doesn't. We'll see what ends up happening, but this is all about that game against the Miami Dolphins. And so before we begin this episode, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and K-Dot.
Yeah, you will always have, just FYI people, you will always have spotty reception when you hide your cell phone in garbage in aluminum foil bags because you're hiding about the Epstein report. It'll happen. And then share this shit.
Share this shit. We greatly appreciate you guys. And without further ado, except K-Dot, we go ahead and talk about this game over here. So once again, it was an international game, happened early on, lose in overtime. I want to say the very first play was a pick from Marcus Mariota in overtime. And then the Dolphins kick a field goal, chip shot. That's it. Season's over. That's why I'm wearing black. I normally wear Commanders gear, but it's a funeral. I mean, the season's over. K-Dot for this game, though. What did you like? What didn't you? Your reaction to it?
Yeah, there we go. We got to start with positive. We love to start with positive. Positive. Offense looks like we have an identity. They carried over the shit that we like from last week into this week. Heavy run, jumbo packages, pulling things off the jumbo. You saw a lot of stuff happen as far as the tight ends. Still not the tight ends that we necessarily want. But Ben Sennett was inactive, correct? For this,
correct.
Game? Which I was in this the entire time out there. I'm like, oh my god, Ben would eat right
now. A nice game for him.
It was queued up perfectly. But like Zach Ertz giving him plenty of opportunities that I didn't like. And getting everybody kind of involved. You saw John Bates getting out there in some of these runs. And also the blocking from that standpoint. But the most important thing would be also finally figuring out the running back room, which I know you've been dead on set from a very long time. Your lead back is Chris Rodriguez, guys. The change of pace back is Bill. But Rodriguez is the one in which everything else has got to come off of, and you want to make sure you sprinkle in a little McNichols, because if you do, he's going to get you a first down or a touchdown out of nothing one of these times, right? You don't want to rely on him, but if you give him one or two touches when he's feeling like hungry for it, he's like, I need to be out there, then give him a rock. And like, so there's something there. You see what Marcus Mariota was able to do as far as getting the ball out. You saw what there was even early on in the game, even though he did come out Jalen Lane, and that ended up being terrible for us and the long while. But seeing Jalen, like some of the opportunities I was saying that were going to be open as far as even some of the vertical, but even beyond some of the vertical, some of the crossing routes in which Jalen Lane was kind of running away from people that we saw on the all 22 on some of these last weeks, and Mariota being able to hit him like in stride for that. Like there's opportunities there. So you can see the bones of an offense, and like Cliff even kind of getting in his bag with it. I felt like every once in a while, I felt like Cliff kind of drifted away just a little bit from it. But for the most part, it felt like this, to me, looking at 2 weeks back to back, feel like the most consistent as far as like what it is that we want to be offensively kind of going forward. I mean, I think that like just like the output might not be the best that we've seen this season, but as far as just from my eyes, probably the best pure game would probably be the Jaden game with the Chargers game. But like this game, this game to me is like, if I had a Jaden, what I saw in this, if Jaden played in this game and played like Marcus did, but had that Jaden thing, we win.
Agreed. This was a game that was very gettable, and you could see it from the beginning, right? So you hold the Dolphins to a field goal in back-to-back drives. That, to me, and I want to give flowers to the defense. I want to give the flowers to Dan Quinn, Joe Witt, if I'm sure he was involved to some degree as well. Like, this was refreshing. I know that there are a lot of injuries. I know it's been very frustrating, but to hold Miami to 16 points, including an overtime period, is quite good. And the way that you and I predicted this game, if the offense did what we thought it would do, you win, right? And then if Jaden Daniels is playing, of course you win, right? So I just wanted to, first and foremost, while we're staying to, the positives, give flowers to the defense, because I thought they did a really nice job overall holding Miami, that just put up 30 on the Buffalo Bills, to just 16 points. It was frustrating, of course. We'll get to the frustrations of the game as well, but flowers to them. They stepped up when we needed them to, and that was nice to see. Go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, the transition from Joe Witt to Dan Quinn, schematically, not a lot changed. Some of the play calling absolutely did change. How long he wanted to stay in zone compared to staying in man or whatever, that changed. But I think the biggest change and the biggest positive coming out of this game, that there is a relentlessness and an energy and a strength that I saw in this defense that I haven't seen in some time. And it didn't feel as though they were chasing that spark. It felt like they were already there. We saw better tackling than we have all season long in this particular game, right? Like Jordan McGee wrapping up. That Jacob Martin sack.
Loved it.
Like there's some stuff to hang your hats on, right? I'm not going to tell you that Jacob Martin's going to be your next perennial All-Pro, but I am saying that, like, when I'm looking at a roster that needs a whole lot of change, but
keep
going
him
forward, that's a guy I might want to keep for a bit and have him kind of rotate out. Eddie Goldman, good game. Like there are definitely some moments in there from Kinlaw had some moments. Goldman definitely had his moments, but they got goal line stands.
Kinlaw. Yep.
Doing stuff in the red zone. Like they had some moments. Like eventually, of course, they play you long enough, the cracks going to show, and they did, and we'll get to them. But like overall, it's just that what I don't want people to necessarily think is after this game is like, oh wow, Joe really did suck as far as the defense coordinator. I would tell you that yes, there was a difference, and I can't tell you exactly what the difference is, but I didn't see necessarily something change schematically. The biggest change I saw is something that I think we're going to have to continue going forward. We're going to scrap the old idea. Sanders still is going to have to be on the outside, and Noah's going to be in your inside. This is just going to happen now. Noah had some moments in this particular game. Sanders still didn't, but like Noah.
So this is what I think changed, K-Dot, because I was curious about it as well, right? Like Dan Quinn takes over the play calling.
Yeah.
And we know how many injuries, right? Dorrance Armstrong, Will Harris, Marshawn Lattimore, no matter what you think of Marshawn, right? Like it's still a huge blow to the defense. And Deron Payne's not playing, right? So like all these things are in play in this game.
Yeah.
I think it was a wake-up call. I think it was okay, especially because hearing Von Miller's comments, I know he just arrived, but hearing Von Miller's comments on Joe Witt and going, hey, it's not on the coach, man. I've been in this league for a really, really long time. It's not him. I think it just sort of woke the defense up, and it was just hey, we need to be better, clearly, because we just screwed this guy over. And so now Dan's taking over. Maybe it's a bit more vanilla. We'll see in the All-22 if we do the All-22. But that, to me, was almost like you get those players only meetings, and that's typically a sign of a dead season.
Yeah,
we didn't quite get that, but we did get a come to Jesus moment for the defense where it was like, okay, the play caller just switched. Like, come on, and we know it's not him. That's what it seemed like, and so it was again good to see that energy. Let's go ahead and focus on some of the negatives as well, K-Dot, because we did lose this game.
Yep.
Ultimately, and only 13 points. I'm glad Chris Rodriguez got his shine. I think he's a very underrated back. Like 15 carries, 79 yards, and he looked good doing it. Like it was nice to see him, but short of that, the interception was obviously quite bad. Mike Sanders still trots back there for a punt return. He muffs it. Like there was also that drop. There you go. So let's look at that side as well, K-Dot. Go ahead.
Yeah, start there. Look, man, I'm going to be completely honest about something. I know I've been alluded to it. I don't think I've gone this far. If it wasn't for the fact of what's happening with the depth and with the injuries on this team, Mike Sanders still would have been benched a long time ago. Period. I don't think that's what he's capable of. I saw what he was capable of last year, but his play this year would have had him sit on the bench if there was any other options that we had out there. I'm glad that at least now they've said F it as far as whatever experiment they were trying with getting him back in the slot. Like, just fuck it. You're doing better on here. We're just going to get what we can out of you right now. I think that to me was a market change on this, is that I think all the developmental projects got kind of thrown out the window for what do we need to do to be the most effective here right now. The thing is, like, even with the youth movement, it's like I've been saying, I think that, like, it's just a point where the young guys might just be playing better than the vets, and injuries are kind of forcing that along, right? But overall, you did see some things that, like, just yeah, Mike's been pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like he's absolutely been pissing me off. And any of the, like, positive moments that I really seen on Elite year, I think I saw one pass deflection. And I was like, oh, that's a good job. But beyond that, every interception he had, go back and look at him, man. Fucking gift wrapped, delivered, sign sealed, like, just, oh my god. Like, shout out to Emmanuel Forbes today. Okay, shout out to him. All right. And I like Mike, and I do think that he's got a great mentality, but this year it's just the play has not been there, man. The perimeter run defense, you could see it as soon as Mike realized, oh, they're soft there. He said, all right, motherfucker, I'm gonna run right there. And H-Gang got his. Like, I'll say this, like, the defense, I give the defense credit in one other aspect, is that they didn't give up. You never really saw the, like, even when you had moments go really shittily, like the Sanders still stuff, the muff punt, especially when Gay misses a field goal, like, when you see shit like that, which we'll get to him too.
Yeah.
But when you see shit like that, usually you see over the course of the game, sometimes the defense looks a little more dejected. You don't see them with the same amount of energy. You definitely see they look like they've gotten tired over the course of the game. Well, you definitely saw in certain aspects they got tired over the course of the game. I do think overall I just saw an energy level at a higher clip than I typically see from them. And I didn't see bad things necessarily compounding into other bad things, as much as you can still see there are clear, not enough talent on the roster defensively, but they're trying to do what they can with what it is they had. And I say that why I wouldn't give the D, you look at the final score and you say your defense did enough. And that's not something that we have been necessarily able to say in quite some time, but you held the team to under 20 points.
Yeah. Here's to a stat line: 14 to 20, 171 yards, no touchdowns. No picks as well, but 3 sacks. Like, we had 0 sacks back-to-back weeks. So to get 3, very refreshing. His passer rating, 96, QBR is 28.8.
Yep.
Right? Like, we're not used to that anymore. So it was great to get that from the defense. You had mentioned Matt Gay.
Yep.
We got to talk about him, because that was, and that's a big, big miss from Adam Peters. And it's cost us games now, where Matt Gay at the end of the Green Bay game goes, hey, that was 100% on me. And I think a lot of people were like, I mean, not really. Like, the offense didn't play well. It was a short week. You should have made a kick, yes, but the loss is not on you. He said it again. And he was like, it's 100% on me. Dude, I'm sick of hearing it. Right? You say it the first time, and then it wasn't even warranted, in my opinion. But to say it again, and you're going to stew on it for a while, I don't give a fuck. Like, you are supposed to make these kicks. 51 and 56 is now, unfortunately, it's the standard, right? Like, early 2000s, like, wow, you made that kick. That's great. Now it's second nature for a lot of these kickers. 1-year deal, $4.25 million, fully guaranteed. The richest in NFL history. And the guy can't hit from 50 plus. I don't know what to say. You can stew on it all you want. He's not going to be our kicker next year. That was just a whiff, K-Dot. I'm still frustrated by it, because when a defense is playing as well as they did, and when an offense is struggling, and you get to the 35 or the 36, 37, whatever it may be, you should now in this NFL be able to rely on a kicker, and you cannot. And it cost us the game. It did. I understand we could have done other things better. For example, Mike Sanders still don't muff a fucking punt, but that's a part of it. That's a big, big part of it. And he screwed up today. Go ahead.
Oh, one last thing on Sanders still, since you ended with it.
Sure.
I know it's not your job as far as the punt. I know if Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey aren't hurt, you're not back there.
He did it in college,
but
man.
No. All right, Matt Gay. You know I don't respect the kicking position in football.
Understood.
I don't think it should exist. I don't understand why we do it. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. So my patience for this thing that I don't respect when there's a position in a person who only has one job. Sorry, sometimes they have two. They got to do kickoffs. Now, if you're not the best in the fucking world at this one thing you're getting paid millions of dollars to do, I have no patience for it. Now, the thing with that is that I also look at this last offseason. Who do we start with as a kicker?
Well, okay. This offseason?
Oh, no, was it last offseason?
Last offseason, it was Brandon McManus.
Yeah, that was it. He sucks now, too.
Yeah.
Like, they all suck.
I miss Zayden Gonzalez. I'll tell you that. At
They
least
all
he hit a kick for us. I know it was a doink and it was short and it was scary, but like, he did it.
Here's what I don't know how to assess the kicking position. Like, if it was
Neither does Adam Peters. Go ahead.
But I don't know how you're supposed. Like, it's just all right. Do I watch you just do it and like?
Yeah,
if
but you
do
just
it
don't
100
throw
times in a row?
that much money like at.
I wouldn't do that at all. Like, my opinion
Right.
is that like I'm going to Europe and I'm finding the fattest, sloppiest motherfucker that look like he can kick a ball through a goddamn brick
Or
wall.
watch college
and
soccer. That's where
I'm
Brandon
gonna
Aubrey came
all
from.
them bitches out and be like, hey, y'all, you want $1 million?
Love that.
I need you to kick it through these uprights 15 times in a row. First person to do it 15 times in a row, get $1 million. You get a contract. Like I would open up. You're looking for somebody to kick the fucking ball through the things.
That's it.
You don't need to study the playbook. You don't need to do shit. Just kick the fucking ball between the things. Why isn't that like it would have the most turnover? The moment you thought about missing a kick, your ass would be looking for a fucking job if I was responsible.
Do you know why this is so infuriating for me? Is because so I haven't kicked in a football game before, but I've just kicked field goals for fun. Like just one time. I can, without all the pressure and stuff, who knows, but I can kick from the distance Matt Gay can. Like it's so frustrating.
No, fuck the out that you just gave him. Take it. No, I think you could probably do a better job.
I can kick that.
Yes.
Like it's just frustrating.
No, because the point is that like even if it is that thing where it's like I get it, you haven't been doing a whole lot, then the whole world's looking at you. You got to do this thing under pressure, right?
$4 million.
Motherfucker, that's the only thing you're supposed to. You know what you spend the rest of the time? Sports psychologist. I don't know. Like do something else. Like you got one job. Like one job. I don't even think you got any like health requirements. Like Sebastian Janikowski was eating fucking cold cuts and smoking cigarettes on the sideline. He was one of the greatest ever.
I'd take him now. I bet he can still. I
Mark
bet he
Mosley,
can still do it.
Mark Mosley, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
MVP, legend.
I'll never understand it. I don't understand the patience people have for it. I don't get it. Maybe I'd have the worst kicking unit in the history of NFL because I'd be cutting motherfuckers' hat. You know, I'd probably go into games with two of them. Like, I'd burn a roster spot.
You're just doing competition.
Because the moment once again, if you didn't even look confident when you walk, get your ass off the field. You fucking cut. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. So I have no patience for it. I've got no patience for it.
Totally fair. And then other negatives, again, I like what the defense did overall. There were some drives for Miami where they took some time off the clock, but overall, good job. Devon Achane did go 21 carries, 120 yards. That's a 5.7 yard per carry. Not good enough, obviously. This is sort of, by the way, just a Dan Quinn defense where, like, even in Dallas, they weren't good against the run. They were good against the pass. And today, good against the pass. But that's something that's obviously got to be cleaned up, K-Dot.
Duct tape. Well, I said you got to have a duct tape defense. Like, you're going to allow some of this shit to happen. Like, it's going to happen. What do you do? And I will give them credit. Between the 20s, motherfuckers ate. But what ended up happening in the red zone? They did not have as much success, right? So, like, it's one of those bend but don't break defense. You ain't really got a choice for what you got from a talent standpoint. But you got to stay there. You have to commit to it. And that's what I give Dan Quinn credit for compared to what Joe Witt was doing. Remember, I gave Joe Witt credit for you ever notice that Chris Collinsworth has given up on saying pass rush properly? Yeah. I know I do it too, but I was our sidebar. Look, where was I? Oh, yeah.
Joe quit. Go ahead.
Yeah. I gave him credit for trying different things. There can be an idea that you're trying too many different things. And
You're
you should just
confusing
stick to
your
one thing.
players. Yeah, it's just
So
too
it's
much to suddenly
even if it's
do,
not working,
right?
like stick to the one thing at least, and maybe things will get better. But and I think that Dan kind of did that. But I also the big difference is the real big difference in this game to me was the energy level and the sure tackling. Like that to me is what spoke, is that like you had guys running down and chasing down and weren't whiffing. Like, yes, you did have a few of those over the course of the game. That was to be expected with this defense. But more often than not, they stopped them when they needed to. And, like, that's all you're trying to do right now with this patchwork of a defense is, like, are you giving your offense just enough opportunities? And then what ended up happening? You had special teams let you down more than once, which will not help when you're on that margin, right? And then on top of that, you have Mariota with you were playing so great, and then the dumbest interception ever.
No, horrible interception.
Just terrible interception. There's just moments like that, but like overall, this is not. You're talking about a team that's not that good, playing in Madrid, banged up to shit, even get more banged up over the course of the game, which I don't know how. It's just unfair. And you're still managing to you're on the margin. Like that's where you're at. You're not going to blow anybody out. You're on the margin. And when you're there, the one or two mistakes will cost you, and you can't afford to have the one or two mistakes. Last year, we kept that shit off, and we actually got some turnovers. This year, turnovers are few and far between and hard to come by. But you can't win if you're just going to turn the ball over.
Any additional thoughts before we move to the comment mailbag?
Before I give the defense entirely too much credit, and that's even if I look at the all-22 and I'm like, oh my God, this looks great. I'm going to look at stuff that I think might carry on, but I will also tell you there is not a single thing. The only thing I have seen this entire season in back-to-back games is a desire to go heavy package with a run scheme and running play action off of that. And I like it. That's the only thing I've seen over the course of 2 weeks, back-to-back consecutively, that I can trust. Because they've done it like that. The defense, you got to do it again. Otherwise, I got nothing for you still. I don't have nothing for. Like, I'm not gonna give you too much credit unless you do it again.
And with that, we go to the comment mailbag featuring an intro from our very own Nikki.
Comment mailbag time, motherfuckers. District divided, ain't got time for no suckers. Spread the word, get in line. OGs and new G's, it's your time. And spread the gospel, cause this shit is divine. Yeah.
All right, thank you as always for that intro, Nikki. Beginning with Coach Lombard, shout out. 27-20 Miami. Player of the game, Devon Achane. That's 1. So congrats on the correct prediction. And then number 2, if you had to choose, would you fix Washington's offense or fix Washington's defense? Which would you choose and why and how? K-Dot?
The defense. I don't think the offense needs fixing. I think the offense needs Jaden to play better and a commitment to doing what it is I've seen the last 2 weeks.
Would that not be a fix, though?
No, I'm not going to look at, like, if you're saying, like, when you talk about fix, does that mean, like, if I snap my fingers, it's miraculously taken care of? Or
yes, I think so. And
yeah,
it's just how,
because it wins championships still. Like, at the end of the day, like, I still want a defense that's going to be stellar, because if I got a defense that's stellar and an offense that might be meandering just a little bit, but they have somebody like Jaden that's got some of the special sauce, even if he's fucking up some of the game, he's still going to do enough if I got a defense that's worth a damn. Like, I look at that, but if Jaden Daniels got that Denver defense.
Oh, my
games.
God. Yeah.
So, like, that's where I'm at.
No, I totally agree, by the way, because snapping my fingers, seeing what the defense has done and what it's capable of, give me the magic to be able to make that even better. I've seen what Jaden can do. I still trust what Jaden can do. I think he's having an off year. I think he's not playing well, but I think he can because he's done it before, right? And those throws are still available to him based on your all-22 reviews, based on Kurt Warner's, which I know a lot of people are like, man, screw Kurt Warner. I'm on his side, man.
It's true.
Like, it's just there. It's there. I literally saw it on the TV copy. Like, I didn't need an all-22. I was just like, no, they were open. Like, throw it, right? So I know he can make the adjustment. I have all the faith in Jaden Daniels. The defense, that's what I would fix. How? it's younger and
I think
faster.
that's why you need the
Coach.
snap of the fingers.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you?
Because we don't have that.
All right. And I was talking to somebody earlier today. I was like, I still think we'd be better off with Myles Garrett. if we traded everybody, if we did what I said, which is like everyone's on the block except you remember I was like Terry could go too.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't missing him right
No,
now.
I remember that. Look, but even Coach, here you go. You'll obviously know this because look, Philly won again. They won again. But these point totals are crazy. Like they're winning 10-7, they're winning 16-6 or whatever the heck it was. Like that defense is winning all these games. To your point, K-Dot, Denver, and props and flowers so far on that AFC West. Crushing it right now. That Denver defense is crazy because I still believe Bo Nix isn't it, but the defense is doing all sorts of stuff for them. So I would pick the defense.
I just want to add, I also think I deserve at least a little credit, not the primary credit, but a little credit for how I thought the New England Patriots were going to do it. No, no, back away.
Okay, no, that's a bridge too far, and you know it. And you know it. Did a whole thing.
You took the Falcons.
It's your day. I did. I also took the Patriots first, for the record. Here's Renell Winchester. Shout out. I'm still mad at you for that, K-Dot. Do you think we can do a rebuild, including new players, during and after the bye? No. K-Dot, your reaction.
No. But, look, I also think the Dolphins suck. I'm just going to throw that out there. I know what they did against Buffalo. I think it was more to do with what Buffalo was feeling that day than anything Miami was really doing. If I'm being completely honest, I still don't love Miami. I think Achan's great. I really do think Achan's amazing, but I don't love Miami as a whole. Mm-hmm. Even if I don't love Miami, they're still talented. Waddle's a dude, Achan's a dude, and they held that team to 16 points. And in my opinion, if they can build on this, as far as what I saw from a physicality standpoint, then it could be that light switch moment for me.
We go to one from Coach and then one from KM Shark. Okay, because these are related.
Okay.
And I'll address it as well. So Coach goes, Miami has a great run defense if you just look at the most recent 5 weeks. Okay, so that is 2 thumbs up. And then KM Shark also goes 12, shout out. Guys, your details are off. Dolphins have the best run defense over the last 5 games in the NFL, so the same 5-week period. The rookie tackles have gelled. If the Commanders focus on Chubb and ignore Chop, and the Dolphins continue to stymie the run, arrested Chop, the concussion may have helped the leg issue he has had, will be a big problem, especially as he will be lined up against a rookie right tackle. Okay, so on this topic, one, shout out Josh Connerly, who has only allowed 2 pressures in the last 2 weeks. So rookie right tackle did his job. Mm-hmm. Stuff. It's great to see the growth. I thought about this because I did see that their last few games, for me, it wasn't the last 5, it was the last 3. They'd allowed under 100 yards rushing. And I was like, that's great. I don't think an identity gets established midseason. So I ended up choosing to go with the regular season numbers. And I think Chris Rodriguez showed that there's still work for the Dolphins defense to do. 5.3 yards a carry on 15 carries. Pretty damn good. So I stand by the way I chose to deliver that information. And if this were near the end of the season where you have all the time, the injuries are sort of set, all that jazz, you're right. That's how I would have done it. But mid-season, nah. I'm going with the regular season numbers. Get out your reaction.
I reject it completely. The game plan for this game was going to be we're going to run the fucking football because Miami's defense is going to allow us to run the football, and it did.
And it did.
And you're talking about the last games that Miami played. Miami played Buffalo. Buffalo got 87 yards on the ground. But if you look at the way that game kind of unfolded and you look at the final score of that game, they did not get in their regular flow with James Cook. Then you look at the game before that. I don't know what the hell anybody was looking at. They gave up 150 rushing yards to Baltimore. Then the game before that is the 45-yard game they had to the Atlanta Falcons, the one in that game that got out of hand really fast.
Yep.
And Bijan Robinson, I think, had like 7 to 9 carries in the entire game. So, like, if I'm looking at every other game that they played as far from a defensive standpoint, rushing, they've given up 239, 197, 140. So, shut the fuck up.
I appreciate you having my back there because I even saw Derrick Henry 19 carries, 119 yards. I was like, okay, relax. Like,
I will give Chop Robinson had one great play. He forced Marcus Mariota to do some dumb shit. So like that, or no, it wasn't really dumb shit because it ended up being really smart. It looked like it was gonna be dumb shit. I think he lucked out with that. Like it was really stupid. But that was the only time I saw Chop Robinson really like.
Yeah. Here's Jamal Bibi-Sharp on we shout out. And also shout out Jamal because Jamal replies to comments as well. And I actually, Jamal, just to be clear, I know I don't read those, like the replies to them, but I do. I don't read them out loud in the comment mailbag. I read them and I appreciate them and I really enjoy reading them, just to be clear. Here's his original comment. To get the Spanish to cheer for us in the stadium, we should wear burgundy tops and gold pants to match their national flag. That would have honestly been fire. That would have been really cool. Okay, not your reaction to the comment.
Yeah, that would have been dope as hell. I did like seeing Josh Harris the night before with all the fans and the drinks. That was dope.
Yeah.
Stadium was dope. Crowd was dope. That was dope.
Great experience. Honestly, a great experience. The new Bernabeu Stadium, so I'm also a soccer fan, looks great. And everybody that went to $1.3 billion to renovate, and they completed that last year. All the beat reporters were like, holy shit, this thing is awesome. I know we got our new stadium to come. Maybe it sparks some ideas.
Just saying, if you spend half the season at FedEx Field and go to somewhere like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's also fair, especially by comparison. Jamal Bibi-Sharp on week continues. I have full confidence in Mariota that he will improve each week and with Lane as well. I think DQ and Cliff have to really become aggressive and try things they normally would not. I don't recall seeing any trick plays or fake punts. K-Dot, your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it kind of boils down to. Offensively, like, trick in the sense of, like, I'm not going to say, like, it's not gadgety. Like, I did see a trick play today, that Mark Andrews out of Wildcat. Oh, my God, was that a beautiful play.
Here come the Ravens.
Oh, was that a beautiful play? Todd Monken was in his motherfucking bag on that play. Oh, it was beautiful. That was beautiful. You don't see a lot. I think Cliff can get into that bag if he has the full complement of guys. But what I'm seeing right now, and the only thing I really ever wanted to see, was choose a fucking package, your main package, and then out of that main package is where you do your trickery. And the trickery being just as simple as some RPO stuff occasionally and just as simple as some play action stuff occasionally. And that's what I'm seeing. I just want to see some more talent in there because I'm telling you, man, there's so much room in these tight end screens and stuff. There's so much right there that I'm like, dog, if we just had our guys do, and if Cliff just queued it up, I want to see Ben Simmons on the screen so bad. Like,
this is risky, what I'm about to say. But like sometimes I feel like coaches just overthink the crap out of stuff.
They always do.
And like watching Sunday Night Football with former co-host of the show, Matt Regan, shout out, who's a Lions fan. And we're talking about like what the play call should be. I'm like, I don't know. Just give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs over and over and over again. I don't think it's that hard. Like, he just literally is so fast, so elusive. You can't bring him down with just one person. What's the problem? And each time you saw zero with the football, killed. He was killing them. Like, and it just lends itself to your point that there's space in the tight end screen game, for example. Just do it. Just do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa,
we don't need all these complex routes and shit. Look, I'll tell you right now, if you look back over the course of history, when you look at like the great coaching moments, it's usually because someone stuck to a disciplined aspect of things throughout the course of a game that either no one expected or was so simple that everyone thought it couldn't be done. I think about like that. Do you remember the Patriots game where they ran the ball like 200 times? You remember? Yeah. Or like you get like the only thing I'll ever see is from a complexity standpoint is defensively sometimes the way they'll get there on like a blitz, but it's the same philosophy. It's we're going to blitz the shit out of them. Like, it's no rocket science. That's what we're going to do. They're just not going to know where it's coming from, but we're going to do that. We're going to stick to our philosophy. You got to stick to something. You got to know who you are. You got to know what you're good at. And then when you're good at it, you know what you should do? Do the thing until they stop you from doing the thing.
Sort of like the tush push, which is obviously problematic for multiple reasons. But and one drive I think of, Kid, you mentioned the Patriots and that wind game where they just threw it like 4 or 5 times. Might have been 3 actually. But the Patriots and Colts. This is back with Manning Brady. I believe this was a season opener. And the Colts just ran it every single play. And the play action was that they didn't play action. They were just like, surely they're going to. They just never did. And they scored. It was a touchdown. I'm pretty sure it was Joseph Adai, like those days. And they just kept handing it off. And like the fans are expecting them to eventually play action off of it. It just never happened. They just ran the ball and it was a touchdown. It can be that simple. Sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to overthink. They all overthink it. How many times do we say in the pregame, it's like, hey, don't blink. Don't blink first. Just do the thing.
And here is Martin Collins with a couple here. Can we get excited about this season? I know we're banged up. This is obviously before the game. I know we're banged up. Is the playoffs completely unattainable? Would it matter, being that we cannot fight our way out of a wet paper bag? That's one. And here's Martin Collins with the other. Without Jaden, we are an average team, sometimes mediocre at best. We know what we're capable of. We just can't continue to prove it. Have we had a record of injuries of starters than any team in history? Get out your reaction.
I don't know about in history, but it's pretty rough as far as like day one.
It's not been great.
Now.
Yeah.
This is up there. It's really up there. The excitement piece. Yeah, I think so. Because I'm actually thinking about how I'm really happy we didn't do a live for this episode.
Me too.
Because I was pretty pissed off after that game. I was really angry. And I remember the excitement level I felt on Mariota in that run was like I was in it. And I really did think me and you texted trying to figure out what we were gonna do. And you noticed I didn't even realize I did it. I assumed the win.
Yep. Yeah.
I assume
I brought shades with me, by the way, just in case. Just to be clear, I brought them. I was like, I don't think. But then I was watching the game and I was like, I actually do think we have this. Like, I thought the same thing.
Do you know why I was so angry after the game? Outside of us blowing it, why the fuck would I assume anything that hinges on Matt Gay is proper or correct? Were you fucking moron? I'm a dumbass. Like, what? Like, I was more angry at me. The fact that I did that.
Like, how could I fall for this?
What the fuck?
Yeah. No, dude. Matt Gay, fucking. All right. Here's Earl Bruce with a couple. Well, actually, three. I'm going to read them all together because they are kind of related. One is, well, I don't know if the defense was better or Miami's offense is crap. That's one. Two, in the fourth quarter of the Madrid game, DQ's clock management was atrocious. Sending in Matt Gay for a 56-yard field goal, that's almost as dumb as making him one of the highest paid kickers. And three, man, I pray that AP is scouting college free agent kickers big time. Those are the three comments. One about, hey, I don't know if our defense is better, if Miami just sucks. Two, DQ's clock management and Matt Gay. And the third one being like, we need to look at college free agent kickers. Get out your reaction.
I'm not going to say Miami's defense or Miami does not suck. They're just not good. But I will say that they going into that game, if the defense played like they have played the last few weeks, that score, they should have scored 40. And It looks like they would have scored 40 against that defense. It was a couple weeks ago. So there's an improvement. I don't care what anybody says. There was absolutely an improvement this week in the way that we played defensively. Like that, I don't think there's any doubt about it.
So there's that. And then what are your thoughts? I mean, I think we've talked about Matt Gay a whole lot. You got to move on. Find somebody else. You're not doing it immediately. Just to be clear, the season's lost. So whatever, just let him kick the rest of the season. But then after that, I mean, obviously you have to look elsewhere.
Yes. There is one thing I'm going to push back on, which I don't like defending kickers. But does it matter that he's the highest paid kicker?
Yeah.
Why does it keep getting brought up? Who gives
Because it directly correlates to expectation.
Really?
Yeah.
If
you were on a min deal, like it sucks, but you're just like, okay.
I just thought you sign them, you can cut them whenever. Who gives a shit? It's money.
No, because then it's there's the whole sunk cost fallacy thing. I think they're holding on to him because he's paid so much, and they don't want to burn that money.
If that's true, okay, but I'd understand that. I don't know if that's the truth, but like
it has to be. He can't hit from 50.
Yeah,
like we're all shocked when he does. Like that is the collective understanding in the fan base is if he hits beyond 50, we're all like, oh my God, he did it.
But I don't feel that way about any kicker that we've had.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying
it's like I don't know if it like to me.
You know what
like,
it isn't. You still know what it isn't.
But here's what I want. I've never trusted the kicking thing. Like I keep. Sorry, I know that's the fucking kicker bullshit.
No, it's fine, but it's important. I mean, like it is.
Anytime I ever hear that they're doing a kicking tryout and they bring in 2 kickers, it's usually one kicker I heard of that like played for a team or I've drafted on a fantasy team at some point, and maybe somebody I hadn't heard of. And it's always like 2 guys. Anytime that happens, I don't give a shit. I literally do not give a fuck anytime that happens, okay? Because at the end of the day, I look at that, I'm like, all right, you get 2 guys. I don't trust either one of you unless I see you over the course of the season do the shit. And then, like, the only time I'm ever going to trust is if they said, we brought in 200 kickers. We have the biggest tryout in the history of kicking. Like, unless I see some historic shit where it's like somebody's reimagining how it is they look at the kicking position, I have never, as long as I've been a Commanders, Redskins, Washington football team fan, trusted our fucking kickers. Have you guys? What fucking planet are we living on? Different planets?
You know what we should do? We should take them all to Topgolf. And instead of swinging a golf club, they're just kicking.
Why not?
There's a net.
Why not?
Just do it.
Dude,
rent the place out. You think they're going to say no to that? Like,
Why
just set up tees everywhere and just do it.
I see all the time these fucking cocksuckers on TikTok just kicking balls in the air. I'm like, why aren't you trying out? Why has the NFL team tried you out? Like, you'd be the TikTok kicker.
I bet
like,
Zap could do it,
jerseys.
by the way. I bet Zap could do it right now.
No, it was just on principle of how much shit he talks. I know he'd fucking flame out. Like, just period. Dog. Like,
but you pay him less.
He'd flame.
Anyway, here is B. Wheeler, shout out. Commanders have pre-installed fear in their hearts on each drive. They're expecting the letdown play as well as the fan base. K-Dot, the players believe it too. This is after the game. Your reaction?
Didn't think that was true this game. I would have listened to that in some of the other games. I don't believe that was true in this game, honestly.
Yeah, this game, it looked like they had a little bit of a spark. They just ended up losing a tight one.
Yeah.
We'll go with Brendan Nichols, then Jacinto.
Motherfucker.
Yep, shout out Brendan. For both hosts, K-Dot got very cranky when I called him to ask this, but isn't this Miami loss the best possible outcome for the franchise going forward? A close, hard-fought loss, so no embarrassment, with no serious injuries in a lost season. Getting better draft position from the loss, obviously. K-Dot, your reaction?
On principle, the fact that he called me right after the game to try to hack. What was his first words when he called me on the phone? He's like, hey, isn't that the best possible outcome? Huh? Aren't you happy about that one? And I said, why the fuck are you calling me?
We should clip that for the crew.
But why the fuck are you calling me? And then, like, remember, and it's like, me and him have had so many conversations about whether or not I believe tanking is a thing or I believe you should do it or whatever. I don't buy in it, and I'm not happy when my team fucking loses. I'm never happy when my fucking team loses. Period. Now, will I complain at the end of the year if we have a higher draft pick compared to a less draft pick? Not really, depending on the talent level, but here's what I'll also say. In the same sense, as far as finding the talent that way, I actually think you bring up the level of everybody when you win fucking games, dog. Like when you become more of a winner than a loser, especially when you got a roster that we know are not going to have 50% turnover. The motherfuckers that you see playing right now are going to be the same motherfuckers you see play next year. And I'd rather them have a winning mentality than a losing mentality. And I'll always think that.
Yeah, the best possible outcome for the franchise going forward. No, I don't think so. I don't think losing a game. See, I may have a different tune if I don't think we have a quarterback. Right. And I think that there's a strong draft class. I'm like, okay, like this is the season to lose, for example. But we got that. So like now I'm going, no, I want the team to learn to win. And that's super important to me, not a draft position at this point. We've got the guy. Like now it's about winning games. So.
And I reject that too, but I can understand the thought process. Like I get that. Like if you sell me on that, I'm like, all right, I get it. Like when you look at the Indianapolis Colts, that season Peyton got hurt. It's like, all right, well, if there's any year for Peyton to get hurt, let's wait for the next generational talent to show up. Get it, right? Makes all the sense in the world. I understand it, kind of. You get in that situation. If you got somebody you look at and you love and you're like, this is going to be my star for the next 10 to 15 years, cool. Now, do I believe in building the team a little differently, philosophically? Yes. But so I'll never be in a situation where you hear me say that I'm happy about the prospect of my team losing compared to winning. Now, if you're talking about like the fourth quarter where somebody's doing some real unnecessary shit and like putting people at risk for something that doesn't really matter in the draft, maybe you can convince me of something, but the caveat's got to be fucking severe for me to get to that point.
Here's Jess Santo to conclude the comment mailbag. Sup, fuckers? Well, it was an entertaining game, at least. I was getting so used to watching this defense get disemboweled on television. This was a nice change of pace. Only a couple of disastrous miscues. They definitely played better for Quinn. I don't think Witt's coaching is the problem. I think it's his play calling. Regardless, this team has no pass rush. Mariota is serviceable, but inaccurate. If Daniels was playing, it would have been a win. He needs to sit the remainder of the season, though. Gay needs to go. Gay and Way are fun to say, but that kicker needs to kick rocks. Solid games from Debo, tight ends, and run game look good. Now let's go lose the rest of these damn games and figure out who's going to be on the squad for next year. Share this shit. To which B. Wheeler replies with a bunch of laughing emojis, all truth. So we've already made our feelings known about losing all the games. We disagree. I also disagree with Jaden sitting the rest of the way. If his elbow's healthy and he's healthy, he's playing, as far as I'm concerned. We need to learn to win games. I understand the frustration, though, Jess. And I do think that I agree with a lot of the beginning of your comment. But, K-Dot, your reaction.
Why is it the first time I'm hearing Gay and Way put together?
I'm
all in. Gay Way? Yeah! Like, fuck yeah! That's fucking cool. Matt Gay, get your shit together, dog. I ain't giving up on you. Like, hey, I gotta be able to say this shit. We got special teams called the Gay Way, and we're not saying that shit? Oh, it just works. Like, fuck.
Well, if he hadn't apologized in week 2 for missing kicks, maybe we're doing that right now.
I'm just saying. I don't think what I'm saying is problematic. It's just fun to say. But, like, in Trump's America, nobody came up with this shit yet. That's the first time I'm hearing this shit. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
No, that's a good point.
But overall, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it's the same, like I said, Joe Witt. I think commitment to one type of thing on the defense over the course of the game, as I said sometimes in the previews and the All-22s, would have been beneficial as far as the defense goes. I also think some of the personnel changes that they did make, once again, Sanders still, move, Noah in, Jonathan Jones, spot, sometimes here, you do this, you do that. Because he had a good play in this game too. Yeah. That to me was the commitment. And that's where I go to. I don't know if Joe Witt has personnel choices. I don't think he did. And they did play harder. And what that does, maybe it speaks to exactly what it is that you said, that maybe there's that players only meeting. Maybe they did feel bad for Joe. Because it does feel like they're, I mean, this might sound, it's not necessarily offensive to say this, but I think they're soft in that way. Like that might get to them. Yeah. So like that might be the way to get through to these guys, like through their heart in that way. So whatever it takes to motivate, it takes to motivate. I just wish they had a little more killer instinct.
Yep. And also, just before we conclude, we had highlighted Tyrell Dotson and Jordan Brooks being like, hey, these linebackers, they get a lot of tackles. Well, shout out both of them for the Miami Dolphins. Tyrell Dotson, 11 tackles, tackle for loss, and then Jordan Brooks, 20 tackles. With Ted Solo. And this was the show. This was District Divided, a DC sports podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys for listening to this episode where we recapped, unfortunately, the loss in Madrid to the Miami Dolphins, effectively ending our season. We already had like a 1% chance. Like this is a stat, 1% chance of making the playoffs. It is now at 0 if you were holding out hope. I think it's at 0. I mean, maybe it's not happening. Enjoy the bye week. And if you enjoyed this episode, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do. And
if you know your name's in the Epstein files,
okay,
does not give you the right to string your audience and co-host along all goddamn day because you're hiding
I'm
from...
not on that. Release them. Release them.
Yeah, you know, somebody else said something about releasing him. It's only because I know.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.